Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today is going to be a more discussion type video, and rather looking at one of the game's features, I'm going to be looking at something more broad. And that is the fact that, in my opinion, that levels 1 through 60 are objectively the best in the game. Now, I like to say I'm not saying in regards to particularly story-wise, and I'm not saying in regards to world-wise, because some of my favorite worlds are Arc 2 and Arc 3. But what I'm saying is from a gameplay standpoint, levels 1 through 60 feel not only the most balanced, but the most well-paced out of all the levels. And I'm gonna explain why. So, as a wizard, you wake up kind of in Wizard City. You're in the Ravenwood Academy for Witches and Wizards, and you're learning magic from one of the types of schools. What's cool is the fact that you spawn in Unicorn Way, you have a task to do, you go in with little to no knowledge of magic, but you come out level 5. You go from level 1 to level 5, and it's a learning experience. Not only that, but you get a new spell, right? Which is, what I'm trying to say here is it's important is how the pacing of the game is you are doing quests, learning spells, and then later you're improving gear. At level 5, you can improve your gear if you want to, level 10, level 15, and so on and so forth. But what is really important to me about how Arc 1 is how the levels are paced as well. Because you go from level 1 to level 5 in Unicorn Way. You come out almost a new wizard, right? Completely different, 5 levels above, or 4 levels higher, and you have a grasp on the game now. You continue on from there, and you reach level 6 in Triton Avenue, 7 in Firecat Alley, 8 in Cyclops Lane, or like 8 and 9 in Cyclops Lane, something like that. And then you reach level 10, completing the rest of the quests. And what's important about this is it shows that there is a level 1 to 10 for Wizard City. That's the baseline of the levels, right? Then you go into Crocotopia. In Crocotopia, you're continuing on, and it is just as well paced. By the time you're finished with the Pyramid of the Sun, you should be around level 15. By the time you're done with the Croc Sphinx, you should be about level 20, and then about level 21, 22 when you're done with the Tomb of Storms. What I'm kind of saying is that there is about a 10 levels every world type spacing, which obviously doesn't completely hold up, but it holds up in the fact that when you're done, right, when you're at the end of Dragonspire, you should be, if you do side quests and stuff, around level 50, which makes sense, and you are a powerful wizard by that point, right? In comparison, let me phrase the rest of the worlds, right? If you are like me, right, and you get to level 60 before going to Celestia, right, you will only be like level 64, 65 at the end of Celestia. Then by the end of Safari, it'll be around level 70, which is basically normally where you should be. Because that's the cool part about Wizard101 is no matter how many side quests you do, at some point if you stop doing side quests, you're gonna even out with a level curve, because the level curve is like this, side quests are like this. You'll meet in the middle, right? So what I'm saying is there is a decent level balance, but what there isn't, that is not true in the second arc, and I'm going to explain kind of why. If you've ever quested on a wizard, right, and you've ever gotten to Chrysalis, what happens? Do you guys know? Have you gotten that? Like, have you done that? Because what happens is Chrysalis's level balance is completely off. I don't know why they chose to make it this way, but without the level cap that was there originally there was a level cap of level 100 there. You rocket above level 100. My balance finished Chrysalis at level 107, which is 7 levels higher than it probably should be. What I'm saying is that the level balance, it has no balance once you reach that that level, which realistically, that's my only gripe with Chrysalis. Well, besides it being boring. But what I'm saying is that doesn't really happen in Azteca or anything, you know. So that's not true for necessarily that. But that's not the only reason why I think level 1 through 60 is the best. This is my major point for this, is that gear and stats feel like a natural progression and boost from levels 1 to 60. So for example, right, level 1, you don't have any stats. Level 10, you might have a little bit, like 7% damage. 15, maybe 10%. 20, a little bit higher, like 20%, maybe. But the thing is that you have kind of boosts throughout. If you do level 25, if you do Kimbalung Village, your damage might be like 25-30 by the end of it. When you do Mount Olympus, your damage might shoot up to like 40-50, right? The point is that there is progressions. At level 40, Barkingham Palace, your damage will shoot up a little bit more, maybe 60. Right? After that, the next jump is Waterworks at level 60, which puts you at a solid 70 to 80 damage. And obviously I'm generalizing. If you're a storm, you might have like 100 damage. If you're an ice, you might have like 50. But the point is that there is a progression. My issue is that this progression is not seen again until level 90 and 100, and even 90 is a bit iffy, right? Basically, if you're like me, you kept Waterworks gear from level 60 to 90 without changing anything, and I kept Waterworks gear until level 100 on literally all of my wizards, because I don't think the farming Hades is worth it, because the gear isn't that much better. So the progression of gear is like this. It goes, and then it flatlines for like a solid 30-40 levels. And then you get to Malastair, and then it jumps insanely high. It goes up like this, because they made a mistake by making the Malastair gear so powerful that it jumps like straight up. And then from there, you don't see another real push until the Dragoon gear, which is another insane jump. So what I'm saying is King's Isle is making a mistake and is making levels 1 through 60 feel the best by making it so that gear jumps and stats aren't a progression between levels. They're a once every like 30 level thing, realistically, is what they're making it. So they're making it so that every 30 levels you get a new godly gear set, right? Which shouldn't be the case, right? Like, for example, look at my fire right here, right? My fire level 80. He's wearing Firestarter hood, Firestarter cape, Professor's Horde boots, level 60, Sky Iron Hasta, a level 66 crafted Athame, and the Ruby Ring of Battle. So right now my fire is realistically is wearing like all level 60 gear. This is stuff that he's been wearing since Zafaria, and right now he's in Avalon. I should have something at level 80 that I can wear and replace, right? Aquila exists at level 70, but the problem is that they made the gear subpar. So there's no point in doing Aquila over Waterworks gear. My recommendation for this, because I'm not going to just say this and then just leave it there. My recommendation for this is A, improve Aquila gear, or improve specifically Atlantia gear. Make Atlantia gear better than Waterworks by a slightly significant margin. So for example, if right now I have, okay, so without my pet, I would have 76 damage, right? I think that's how you count. Yeah, 76 damage. So take that 76 damage and make it 86, right? Because with Malastare gear, I'll be at like 100 and something damage, right? Like higher than that possibly. So make it so that there isn't a jump like that. Make it so that like maybe the cape gives like 19 damage, and make it so it gives other stats as well. Like make it so the crit is like 60. Make it so that it gives like armor piercing or something, right? That would be cool. It would make it so that there's less of a jump between gears and more of a progression, right? And then add a dungeon at level 80. Like maybe add something to Ghost of Avalon or like the Keep of Gainlon. Basically make it so that in Avalon there is a level 80 gear set that makes sense to use. Make it so the fucking Sword of Kings is actually useful. Please. Life is the only thing where the Sword of Kings is useful. Please fix that. This sword that we're supposed to be using to beat more Ganth because it's so ungodly powerful gives like 30 crit. Please stop. Make it so that it gives damage. Like, I think the Sword of Kings, I might make a video where like I make a concept of what each one should give, because I think that that would be really cool and would be like something that I should do. So let me know if you're interested in that. But basically what I'm saying is make the progression of gear better and feel better. So you might disagree with me at this point and say, Noah, 1 through 60 isn't the best levels. You're just being over dramatic, or you're just saying that specifically the gear is bad. But I think that the gear makes the game what it is. And without it feeling like a progression, it's not as fun. If I could get a new gear set like every 10 levels, I would feel like I've evolved much more as a wizard than I have. Like, this fire won't get new gear until level 100. I won't get him new gear till level 100 because there's no point in doing Hades, because the dungeon is so long and agonizing for gear that might be only slightly better than Waterworks gear, that it's just not worth it to do. It's just blatantly not. Like, obviously level 90 you have the Alpha and Omega ring and the Blade of Felled Titan, but even then that's not really a jump. It makes it go up by like 10 damage, which is good, but we should have a full gear set at level 90 that's worth it to do and jumps up damage like that. What I'm saying is they either made Malastare too strong or they've made everything else too weak, which I think is something King's Isles realized, and they're balancing the stats in this new update because they've realized they fucked up. So hopefully this video wasn't too boring for you. I just kind of wanted to say what I was thinking. I actually really like the idea of the Sword of Kings thing, and I might do that tomorrow. So hopefully you guys would like that. I think that it would be really cool because the Sword of Kings, in my opinion, is one of the most annoying things in this entire game. It's my biggest gripe with like Avalon. So whatever. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like, hit sub if you did. See you in the next video. Have a fantastic day.